We got some unexpected news. Who would expect the Chicago Bulls to have made a signing as of right now? Well, the Bulls have. They have signed forward Kevin Knox to a deal. We're going to talk about it all and more right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, hosted by Haize, your number one spot for all things Chicago Bulls.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Bulls Central Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go ahead and get into this content today, y'all. And the Chicago Bulls have made a signing. One day after their first preseason game, the Chicago Bulls decided to go out there and add a player to their roster. They are now signing Kevin Knox to a deal. Kevin Knox has averaged 7.3 points in 7 seasons. He's played with the Knicks, the Hawks, the Pistons, the Trailblazers, and the Warriors. Has Kevin Knox. This is a guy that initially, when he was drafted, was looked at to be one of those all kind of catch-all kind of forwards, a new modern forward. But at the end of the day, I think Kevin Knox, he was a very promising prospect at one point in time. I mean, nothing's really amounted to anything for him in the NBA, and it just goes to show that just because you have a promising future, you look at something like that, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be anything that turns into something. But for what it's worth, Kevin Knox is 26 years old, 6'8", 215 pounds, and I guess we'll see what he can bring to the Chicago Bulls. More than likely, because the Bulls have all guaranteed roster spots, this may be them signing him to an Exhibit 10 deal to then just cut him and then sign him to the G League team or something like that. I can't imagine he's gonna make the actual roster for the Chicago Bulls. I don't envision a case in which he's on the actual roster personally. Weirder things have happened, but to me, the Bulls are already deep at the forward position. They don't have a lot of space there as is for anybody. So I don't know if I see this really turning into something where Kevin Knox is going to be, on the actual Bulls roster, right? So, we'll see there. For what it's worth, Kevin Knox does also share an agent with Jonathan Kuminga. I'm just saying we have seen weirder things happen with teams trying to garner favor for another agent's player or something like that. But, it is what it is. He played with the Golden State Warriors last season. He played in 14 games. He averaged 3.3 points in 6 minutes per game. So this isn't like a substantial signing or anything like that. That's why I can't wait to announce what time. I'm guessing this is an Exhibit 10 deal is my guess there. And then they're going to cut him. He's going to be one of the veterans on the G League team. Keep in mind, it's something similar that they did with Kenny Lofton Jr. last year, right? He was a guy that they signed initially to an Exhibit 10 deal. He then signed, a G League contract, and he was down there for a little while. So if I had my guess, that's probably what this contract's going to be, and I don't think it's going to be anything too major here. Why do we sign him? Is it just for the G League? I'm guessing it's probably just for the G League. I'm guessing it's just for the G League, in my personal opinion. There's a little side of me that still believes in Kevin Knox. I mean, hey, if you want to still believe in Kevin Knox, so be it. I'm not here to judge you for that one. Haize, I remember you doing a Walker Kessler video a while ago, but I want to see where you at right now since he's got 1 year left as a restricted free agent, though. How much would you give up for him? Is he a needle mover? He's definitely a needle mover for this team. I actually have a whole video on that. I think I just dropped it 2 days ago. So go and check that out, Adrian. I went into detail on that and other center options for the Chicago Bulls as well. I think that was Sunday's mailbag, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was Monday's episode. I've been watching him since Kentucky. He's not good. Exactly. He's not. He's not good. I mean, I hate to say that. I don't want to sound like a dickhead, but he's not good. He's not good. He's not a good basketball player. So whatever happens there, I guess is what happens. But it is what it is. In G League development, plus, did you? Yes, we talked last. I know Peter Patton got signed by the Knicks. Yeah, this looks like a signing that's to put good players on the G League team to help guys develop like Noah. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't think it's anything too much more than that. I think this is just one of those contracts to give, a solid player down there, and give a veteran piece. And, we did lose wings with Javon Freeman-Liberty going, overseas and stuff like that. So, we having wings down there is never going to hurt, right, is what I look at it. I don't see anything about Kevin Knox. Well, you should. Who tweeted it initially? Let's see. Real GM has it now as well. Mike Scioto also tweeted it out. So yeah, it's definitely out there. But there you go. Maybe he can be good in our system with he's not going to play. I tell you this right now. Well, and I mean, if you're talking about down in the Windy City, possibly, right? But he's not going to be anything, like I said, he's not going to be anything crazy on the actual roster. He's just not going to be that. It's not that type of signing. I highly doubt that they have any plans for him to actually play any regular season minutes for the Chicago Bulls. Like I said, it's very comparable to Kenny Lofton Jr. being signed last year. That's the way that I look at it. Very comparable. Kenny Lofton Jr., keep in mind, didn't we have Josh Primo we signed at one point last year, right? Like, so you make these type of signings at this point in the season is where you make that at. And good players, meaning he's a vet with experience, not necessarily good. Could he be a mentor for Noah even? Listen, I don't think you're signing somebody like Knox to be like, what is he going to mentor? He ain't did shit. Like, I don't think he's going to mentor. I think you got enough mentors on this team. You got Isaac Okoro on this team. You got, your head coach and Billy Donovan. You got veterans on the team. Hell, Ayo can help mentor him. You don't have to play the same position to mentor somebody. So I highly doubt this has anything to do with Noah Essengay. I highly doubt it. So. Mentor him from Windy City. Listen, if somebody is it's different when you have a player down in Windy City that's accomplished something in their NBA career and they're just old and in the G League. There's nothing that Kevin Knox can mentor Noah Essengay on. Noah Essengay is a better player than Kevin Knox ever was already at 18 years old. What Noah Essengay did last night in a preseason game was more than Kevin Knox ever did on an NBA game. So I'm not. You can't. I'm not with the mentor angle. I don't think there's anything Kevin Knox can do to mentor Noah Essengay. I mean, unless you want to mentor him in what everything you don't want him to do. Like, hey, do everything opposite of what this dude did. Now, if that's a mentorship that you're talking about, okay, cool. All right, you got that one. You got that one locked in. That's a good mentor for him. Okay, back to Noah and Modest. Exactly. It's much ado about nothing, but for what it's worth, you guys know we report on everything Chicago Bulls here. The Bulls have signed Kevin Knox to a deal. Not the exact terms of the deal have not been announced as of yet, but again, I don't think this is going to be anything. I would not be surprised if we hear that he's waived within the next 3-4 days. Literally, the way that it works is that if you sign a player to an Exhibit 10 deal at any point in time, all they got to do is be on that deal for at least 24 hours. You cut them from that deal, they get a little bit of extra money on their G League contract. That's all it is. That's probably all this is right now. Man, glad I came in listening and not immediately typing, I agree, Haize. I'm not thinking he'll play much. Yeah, he's not going to play much at all. It's much ado about nothing. For why even bring his energy around? We just turned Smith and P. Will up. I mean, again, like I think sometimes we look at these things like they mean more than what they do. His energy, I don't think his energy is the problem there, my boy. I don't think they're worried about his. Listen, if you can sign a player to an Exhibit 10 deal and they mess up the energy of your team, the energy was never good on your team anyway. Is my view on it. I don't think Kevin Knox is going to be here to mess up anything. I think Kevin Knox is here because they're going to sign him to a G League contract. This gets him a little bit of extra money on that G League contract, and that's probably all this is. That's really probably all this is. Nothing else crazy going on. It's not nothing to have a big ass think piece on. It's pretty straightforward. So. But that's my time on this one. I ain't going to spend too much time on this. I just wanted to give you guys, because this news dropped right before I was ready to shut down the studio. So I'm done for today. I love you guys. Thank you guys for everything that you bring to this channel. Thank you for being the most important part of the channel as well. If any other news drops, we'll drop. It's a simple process here at Chicago Bulls Central. If news drops, we drop. That's it. Very simple process. So we'll see what happens on this one, man. I love you guys. Make sure you guys are following us at Bulls Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullscentralpod@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bulls related, but that is thanks to you, lovely and beautiful people. And like we like to end every episode on, go Bulls. Love you guys. Hold on. Wait a second. We got a good question here. Do you think Giddey, Kobe, or Okoro, Modest, Noah Essengay lineup at times could look good, or is Noah too weak to run small ball 5 right now? I would not run him as a small ball 5 right now personally. Now, again, I guess it matters on, like, is the team you're playing going small? Like, if you run a team out there that's running a power forward at center, then maybe in that matchup, if Noah has the hot hand and you want something to go there, maybe. But I'm not running that out as like a part of the game plan yet. I think he's about a year or two away from that, but we shall see. Love you guys. Go Bulls. See Red, y'all. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.